All right, everybody. I'm so sorry it took me so long to get back on here. I think my internet is acting up or something. So I apologize for those of you who missed my initial thing. All right, everybody. I'm so sorry. And I'm gonna open up my phone so I can actually see your comments this time. So for those of you who missed the first video, I'm gonna restart my introduction here a little bit just because I missed. And unfortunately I could not figure out how to get Facebook to let me screen share after being on video. I don't know, a tech probs today. I don't know if it's the storm or what made my internet slow, but thank you so much for your patience. I'm probably like 5 minutes behind by now, so I will try to make up quickly. For those of you who are here live or watching the replay, my name is Carrie Flynn. I own Virtual Simplicity. I'll introduce myself in a minute, but we're going to be talking about something that I am super passionate about, which is diversifying your business using things like online courses, memberships, and coaching programs. So I just want to introduce myself a little bit. So I'm an online business manager, which I explained in the previous video to Tiffany, I think it was, that just means I help. It's almost like being an online business, online administrative, office manager. So I manage people who have online businesses, but I also am a Kajabi strategist and a Kajabi specialist. So Kajabi is an online system that you can use to create and host courses and memberships and things like that. So thank you guys so much for your patience and understanding. This is my family. I grew up in Jacksonville. I actually live in Orange Park, and we have two kids. My husband and I have been married for 15 years, and we have a daughter who's 11. She's going into 6th grade this year. And then we have a daughter who's going to be 4 here in just a few minutes, in just a few weeks, actually. So I'm going to let Heather know I'm here as well. Yeah, it won't let me. So I love college football. I'm very sad that it is probably not going to happen this year. And I love gifts, and we really love going to Riverside. That's one of my favorite things. So I already told you guys that in the previous video, but what I do, in essence, this is kind of our mission statement, is my husband came up with an acronym for the word SEEN. We really help our clients create courses and membership sites or coaching programs through Kajabi that we use the SEEN method. So I'm really big on simple, easy, efficient, not complicated. So that is what drives everything that we do. And our goal is to help our clients maximize and make a lot of money. That's our goal. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to look at why you need to diversify your business. And so the theme for August in Rising Tide Society is passive income. And a lot of times people think passive income means you have to do no work and you get the money. And I really believe there's a broader definition for that passive income for me means that you're not just relying on your one-to-one services with someone. So if you're a photographer, your only income stream for the long term should not just be you doing photography sessions. There needs to be a way for you to introduce other means of making income that don't rely on you being the one doing the actual services full time. I forgot to mention too, if you are here live, I would love for you to introduce yourself in the comments and let me know you're here. If you watch the replay too, just let me know you're here and say hello. I would love to thank you for watching. So I'd love to know your name and what your business is and what area of town you live on. I live in Orange Park and have grown up here, so I've been here a long time. So we're going to talk about why you need to diversify, what you can create, and what things you can use. I'm going to show you some examples of people that would be in a group like this and have successfully done that, and then we'll talk about how you can start setting that up too. So this is really important. So I'm going to stop here at this this slide that talks about COVID-19. I think that for me, when March came around, it was had a huge impact on me and my business. I saw so many people that I know, a lot of people in this group in particular, but many of people I know who are friends of mine in business, who had brick and mortar businesses or in-person service-based businesses, or were in industries like the wedding industry, photography, hairdressers, all sorts of people who provide services in person were heavily affected by the pandemic. And I personally feel that for many people, many, not all, relied on or were just utilizing our one-to-one services business. And it's very easy to do that because it takes up a lot of your time, right? And so it's very hard to, it's sometimes a little time consuming to think about diversifying your income streams and bringing in more passive income. But I think what happened in March, really before March, but everything that went down with COVID-19 and is still going on, mind you, but especially what happened in March and April and even in May, is that we learned a lot that our businesses are never 100% safe. And it's really important that you are able to diversify and bring in more types of income streams so you don't have just one income stream. But it's also really key that you can be able to pivot when you need to. And I think that for many of us, myself included, that was a really big eye opener for us. This was a huge learning point. And so this is why it's so important, is because I don't want what happened to some of my friends, I don't want that to happen again. And so I think that's really key that we focus on that. So here's important, why do you need to diversify? What can you do and why and how can you do it? So these are some important questions, to consider when you're thinking about how and why you need to diversify your business away from just providing one-to-one services. So for example, if you're a wedding event planner, if you are a photographer, if you are a makeup artist for weddings, if you do whatever, and it's a service. For me, it's online business management. So these are some questions you can ask yourself. So what are you an expert at? What is something that you have a ton of knowledge about? Who are the people that you serve? Do you have clients that you would like to serve? Or maybe there's an industry of people that you have an ideal audience and that you are wanting to help. Does your audience of people, or do people in your industry, do they have a problem that you know how to solve for them easily and quickly that you can monetize? How can you create certain messaging to share how you can solve that problem? So how can you market yourself, basically? And very important, the last one, how can you provide this in an online way? Okay, that's so important. We want to go online because the audience online is way more vast than just thinking about your local area. There's nothing wrong with thinking about your local area, but going online is huge because you can seriously reach so many more people. Because my business is mostly online, I have worked with people from Canada and from Australia, all over the United States, Europe, like in Denmark and Ireland and all sorts of places, even in Asia, because the online space is so vast. So there are people out there in other countries that can benefit from what you offer. So let's talk about, okay, so we talked about why it's important. We talked about some questions you can begin to ask yourself, right? So we talked about some questions you can begin to think about to help you kind of figure out, well, how can I do this? And now we can look at some practical things you can do. So there's lots of different things you can do beyond even just a course. So maybe you want to create an online store. Maybe you want to provide products. I know that Angelica Pompey, I think of Pompey Portraits, has done something like this, where she has taken and is providing some actual products for her clients through I believe it's a store. That's a great way to do it. That's another way to diversify and make more money. You can create a tiny offer. So maybe you create a mini course. Maybe you create a, some sort of digital ebook or something. That's a small, easy to consume thing that is a low cost offer, and you can make it into something you sell on autopilot. If you want to get more into more involved, you can create an online course. An online course is just kind of like taking a class online, where many of them are between 4 to 8 weeks long. And you can take what you know about something and create a class out of it, create a course. And it can be passive, meaning people can take it whenever they want, they can move at their own pace, or it can be a little bit more involved, where maybe there's some coaching elements to it. You can also create what's called a membership. And so a membership is a little bit different from a course in that this is a monthly recurring income. So you might create a membership centered around portrait photographers, or boudoir photographers, for example. That's another niche. And you might provide them with, you can provide them with monthly training, or you can provide them with monthly, different tools and content ideas, and maybe you make templates or something like that. You can do, and they have to pay monthly to get access to it. Maybe you can provide monthly, even people make boxes, those like boxes that you buy and you get them shipped to your house once a month. That's a membership. There's lots of different types of memberships, but memberships are monthly recurring income or annual recurring income. Courses and tiny offers are usually a one-time purchase. And if you want to go even higher than that, you can create a coaching program or a mastermind. And those are a way for you to help other people in your industry. And that's going to involve you a little bit more, but it's a higher cost item, right? So you have your like kind of online store and your tiny offer at a lower cost. Then you have your online course and memberships, a little bit higher cost. And then your kind of higher cost passive item would be having a coaching program or a mastermind. You could still use something like Kajabi and have all the content for it, but you're going to be hosting calls for people and trainings. So that does involve your time a little bit more. But it definitely is something that you could do in addition to your one-to-one services. That would be a huge benefit to you in terms of diversifying your business, and you're bringing in extra income that isn't just reliant on providing your services. So those are just some ideas that you can do, and all of those are great ideas. So I would think about what is something that I could do quickly and easily. So maybe think about some of those smaller, easier to create ones first, and then maybe work into some of those little bit more involved ones, like creating a course or a coaching program or something like that. So I get questions about this all the time. So most people's next steps are, well, what do I use to like create this? Like, how do I even do this? Like, how do I begin to put this together? So first and foremost, you don't need a system like what I'm showing you on the screen right now you don't need a system like that to create your offer. You can get started by simply just, you know, coming up with the idea and mapping it out. You can use like a Google document or something to map out how you want it to look. You can use Trello or something like that. But when you're ready to actually launch it, there's some lower cost and more higher cost ways to do that. So I'm very aware that Kajabi is seen as pretty expensive, and so is Kartra. And not everybody is in a financial or even technologically comfortable place where you feel like you're ready for that, right? So what I would suggest is thinking about, what do you want for the short term versus the long term? So I'm showing you some names of systems that you could actually use to create a course, create a membership, or create content for a coaching program or a mastermind. All of these would be appropriate. So some of your lower cost ones is Teachable. I know Heather O'Brien uses Teachable and really likes it. It's a lot lower cost. It's not as expensive, and it's a great like starting point. It doesn't have as many features as some of the higher cost ones, but if you don't need those other features, then Teachable, Thinkific are great options. And I think the lowest cost, I think they might be in the $30 to $60 range. If you have a WordPress site, WordPress does have a membership plugin. So if you're thinking about a membership and you have a WordPress site, they do have a plugin you can use too, and it's fairly low cost as well. Now, if you're looking down for the long term and you're thinking about a system that you're like, oh my gosh, I want something that has everything in it all in one, you can think about something like Kajabi or Kartra. Both have the option to do a website, sales pages, landing pages, email marketing, affiliates. Both of them, you can do your courses, membership sites, all of it. So it's an all-in-one thing, but it does have a higher cost. So their cost is more in the $100 to $200 range a month versus Teachable and Thinkific, which are to the $40 to $70 range. So, but the Teachable and Thinkific have a little bit less features. So just to think about, and if you have questions about tech systems, please feel free to message me. I will always give my opinion. Obviously, I'm a Kajabi girl, but I will gladly give my opinion on what might be appropriate for you. So another thing I want to recommend to you, if you're thinking about creating something and you're like, I know I'm ready to move away from just providing one-to-one services, and I'm ready to do some courses or some memberships, or I'm ready to create a coaching program or a mastermind. I'm ready to take that next step in providing, something for my clients or providing something for people in my industry, and I'm ready to diversify my income, but I don't know how to do that. I don't even know where to begin. So I'm going to offer you here some educational resources to try. These are all investments. They all cost money. It's really important to know that. There are a lot of great free items from these folks on here. All of these people have great free items, freebies, and opt-ins. But I will say I highly encourage you to think about investing in yourself to help you get to where you want to go. That has had a huge impact on me. So you can certainly start with some freebies, but I highly recommend that you consider some of their, these are their paid, what you see here are their paid paid things that are investments. So if you're thinking about creating a course, the godmother of course creation is Amy Porterfield. Her program where she teaches you how to create digital courses is called Digital Course Academy. She's actually launches that every September. And so she is in her, what you would call a pre-launch phase right now. So if you are considering a course, I highly recommend her. And I would definitely look into getting on her email list, because she is right now providing lots of information about how to do digital courses. Some of them are free, and I would highly recommend, if you're not ready to invest, she's doing a lot of free things about creating courses right now, but she is going to be launching her course academy here very soon. If you're thinking about a membership, you want something that's like a month to month. You want to provide something for people on a monthly basis. You want to have more of a relationship and community. You want to community is really important to you. Then I highly recommend Stu McLaren. I'm not sure if I spelled his last name right, but he is the founder of Tribe. Tribe is a course to membership thing. He only launches it in April, so he won't be launching it again until next April. But he provides a lot of great free resources throughout the year about getting on memberships. So look up Stu McLaren, look up Tribe, and they have a lot of great free resources. But I highly recommend getting on his email list. Also, if you're thinking about providing a membership, again, remember, a membership is something that is month to month, and you're providing a resource, you're providing community, you're providing training, or you're providing sometimes physical materials on a month-to-month basis, and it's recurring income, meaning people are paying you every month or annually for you. Tribe is like the Mac Daddy of learning how to do an amazing membership, and you will come away with a great membership if you choose to go through Tribe. I have been through Tribe, and it was an amazing experience, and I can't recommend it enough. And I highly recommend Amy Porterfield's program as well. So if you're going towards a mastermind or coaching program, you want to create a program and you want to have more involvement with people. So the coaching programs and masterminds are really great for people who want to invest in helping people in their industries. So you want to teach people in your industry how to do something to be better at their business. So I have 3 ladies here that two I have worked with and one I know pretty well. The first one is Avery Yaktis, I think is how you say her last name. She provides several different types of coaching programs and masterminds, and I would look her up on Instagram. She's very involved in Instagram. She's pretty awesome, and she has several. She's always has a different program going, so she has a lot of great coaching programs and masterminds. Highly recommend her. If you're a photographer, particularly if you're a portrait or boudoir photographer, Tanya Smith is a former client of mine, and she has a great program that she runs as well. And then if you're in the wedding industry, especially if you're fairly newer, but if you're in the wedding industry, Debbie Shadid has a really great coaching program and course as well. Highly recommend them. And there's lots of others. These are not the only people out there. These are just a few that I happen to know and have followed and really respect them. So highly recommend educating yourself but don't spend too long educating yourself because we want to move forward. We don't want to get stuck in learn mode forever, but it does help to learn. It's important to educate yourself so that you feel confident when you're ready to launch, right? So I want to give you some examples. So this is Tanya. So Tanya is, like I said prior on the previous slide, Tanya is a boudoir and portrait photographer. She does portrait photography, and she's really big into doing it. She's from Canada. She's really big into making it, and her thing is she is a photographer, but also she has a very successful six-figure business in addition to having a very profitable course and membership. So she actually has both courses and membership. And her thing is she teaches the business of portrait photography. Really, her big thing is teaching photographers how to be profitable in their business. That's her main focus, is teaching you how to make a profit so that you don't feel like you're scrambling to make income. So she's all about helping you to make more money and get more bookings and decrease the stress. That's kind of her focus. She just launched her course about a few weeks ago, and it was a 5-figure launch. She made 5 figures in about 10 days. It was very successful because she has taken the time to really figure out what are some problems that people in her industry have and what is she really great at and how can she help them solve those problems. So Tanya is a great example of someone who still is doing photography. She's still doing photography, but she has this great kind of secondary income of providing a course, and then eventually will launch a membership for her people as well. Another example, again, I just mentioned earlier, her name is Debbie Shadid. I also worked with Debbie as well. And she was a wedding event planner, I believe, for a very long time. I think it was over 20 to 25 years, and has transitioned into providing, a course. It's more of a coaching program, but there's a course with it as well called the Wedding Business Institute. And she kind of focuses on teaching people in the wedding business how to grow and scale their businesses in the right way. So she has taken all of her experience, all of her expertise, all of the things that went well and didn't go well, and she's taken that into creating this course and coaching program. And she does do one-to-one coaching as well, but she also has this more passive coaching program that has a course too. And she's a 6-figure earner and higher as well, very successful, not because of just being in the wedding industry, but also because she has this other secondary income where she has created a course and a coaching program. So there's lots of ways to do this. So we've talked quite a bit over the last 30 minutes or so. So I want to review with you really quick what we talked about. I know that we have time for questions if anybody has any, if you're watching live. And of course, I will come back and answer any questions that you have in the replay as well. Just please feel free to tag me. So I want to review with you and just recap. So it's really important to consider why this is so key that you need to move away from just relying on one-to-one services, whether it's brick and mortar or face-to-face one-to-one services or whatever. And believe me, as somebody who provides a one-to-one service, albeit online, I know how challenging it is to think about adding another thing in your business. I know how hard it is to work on your own business when you have clients that need you. I know how challenging that is. Believe me, nobody understands better than me. I completely empathize. If that's what you're thinking, I totally get it. But I just want us to remember what we went through with COVID and how hard that was for so many people. And I want that experience, just as a reminder, to be a lesson about why it's important not to put all of our eggs in one basket. So I want you to think about why that's important and why you should start thinking about not just relying on that one-to-one services anymore. So how can I move away from just relying on this one thing? Because things change, times change, business markets change, and as we've experienced, we can have, pandemics happen, which none of us have ever been through before. So it's always good to take what we've been through and learn. And so this was a big learning experience. The second thing I want to recap on is how can you do this? So ask yourself those important questions. I am going to link the slides here. I'm going to link that in the comments so you can have a copy and view it. So you can view it at any time. Just save the link. But I want you to ask yourself those questions that I posted earlier about what is your expertise? What do you have expertise in? What is something in your industry? What is something in your business? What is something in what you do that you have expertise in and you're really good at? Mine is I am very good at simplifying and making things easy and efficient. I'm really good at that. And I'm really good at making things not complicated. So that is why I adopted that kind of focus. So my focus, my expertise area is making things really simple and easy and not complicated and super efficient for people in what I do with Kajabi and what I do with online business management. And so I have a course that I am basically relaunching again, teaching people how to use Kajabi in an easy way and how to build it quickly and easily. And I have a membership that I'm creating as well. And so I'm right in the trenches with you. If you're thinking about it, I'm right with you. So think about your expertise and how can you help people online? I can't emphasize that enough. It really needs to be online. Please and thank you. If that scares you, and like I said, if you're not sure where to start with that, reference the slide about education resources. There's lots of great people who help people go online with courses and memberships and coaching programs. And please feel free to message me if you're not sure where to start. If you know you want to move your business online and have some of your business be online, but you don't know where to start, let me know. I'm glad to provide you with some input as best as I can. And then finally, you need to think about a great system. So when you're ready to actually create it, what's a really awesome system that you can use to help you launch it? Do you want something that's a little bit lower cost that just helps you have the course or whatever? Or do you want something that's going to be kind of a more premium all-in-one service and system? So it's been really awesome to get to share with you all. Like I said, if you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the comments now. I do have my phone up and I totally missed some of the questions, so I'm going to answer some now because I see Cassie asked a question. But please continue to post them because I'm going to answer them right now. So Cassie says, hi Carrie, I'm trying to get a digital course off the ground, trying to figure out Kajabi, so I may reach out later. Oh, wedding planner, awesome. So yeah, if you have a Kajabi question, please let me know. I have lots of different resources I can help you with. Getting the system part off the ground, this is for Cassie, but really for anybody, that can be something that will cause you to get stuck, and especially if you don't feel confident in your technological abilities, this can be a source of contention and frustration for some. So there's lots of great DIY resources out there. There's lots of great done with you resources to help you. And then there's always the option, if you have the finances, to invest in outsourcing it. So definitely if you're looking for any one of those level of resources with Kajabi, I do have free, low cost, done with you, and one-to-one services, obviously, so feel free to reach out. But that would be the case for anything. If you feel stuck in your technology, if you feel like you got everything ready, but you don't know how to get the tech side set up, that's okay. That's very normal. The most important thing is to get help, ask for help, even if it's in just finding DIY stuff. There's a lot of great resources online on Google. There's usually Facebook groups for most of the systems, many of them very active. I know we have a fantastic Kajabi group, but you know, there's lots of great resources out there. So definitely, Cassie, reach out if you have questions about Kajabi. Just feel free to message me on Facebook. If anybody else has any questions about anything we talked about, this was a very brief overview of it. Obviously, we didn't go into a lot of detail because this is more of a why you should do it and not so much the how with all the nitty-gritty details. So if you do have some more specific questions, please feel free to ask them now. I'll wait just a minute or two more, and make sure that you tag me in the comments if you watch this later on. I know it's late, and I know a lot of us have a lot going on right now with everything, with school starting back. I know that it's been keeping us all very, very busy. So, but if nobody else has any questions, I do want to invite you to follow me on the internets. I am pretty active on Instagram, or I was until things got really busy. We moved in July, but I'm pretty active on Instagram. My Instagram name is Virtual Simplicity. Please feel free to follow me there. I would love to connect with you and talk with you. This is actually an outdated, that's not what my feed looks like anymore too. I should have updated that picture. You can also find out more details about me on my website, carriemflynn.com. It has more details about me, my business, what services I provide, and you can certainly contact me through there as well. But feel free to find me on Facebook too. You can. I do have a Facebook page also, so I just don't have it tagged here. But I would love to connect with you all. I love, this has been one of my favorite groups. In my business, I don't do a lot of face-to-face because my business is almost always online. So everybody I work with, many of them I don't know in real life. I mean, we're very, very close, and I've never met them before. So because my business is solely online, having a group like the Tuesdays Together group has been a huge blessing to me. And I've very much missed coming in person because of the pandemic. So it's been a huge blessing to get to meet other business owners in our community who are also just as passionate about using whatever expertise they have to help other people. And that's really what it's all about. My goal is to help, I want my clients to win and win big. And so I try to use the gifts that I have to help my clients do that. So please reach out if you have questions and you're watching the replay. If you have questions and you're here live, I'm going to be on for about 30 more seconds. Please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I will gladly answer them. Just tag me so I can see it. But if you don't feel comfortable, you're always welcome to message me as well privately. I totally understand if it's a more private question. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day or evening, whenever you're watching this, to watch this back. And I hope it's been helpful to you. And if you need anything, please do not hesitate to ask. And I hope you guys have an amazing evening, and I will gladly talk with you very much soon. And I'm waving goodbye. Have a great night, guys.